it's heavy tonight. In a realm where the sun fades behind the fight. Every scar is a story, every tear is a flame. In this game of survival, nothing stays the same. We break, we fall, but we rise again. Through shattered hopes and the cries of men. Through the darkness, through the pain, we'll build again. We'll stand through the rain. The trials may come, but I won't bow. This is my fight and I'll make it somehow. The road is long, the nights are cold, but the dreams I carry burn like gold. In the chaos, I found my place. A spark of hope in the empty space. We've lost so much, we've given more, but through the trials we'll restore. Through the darkness, through the pain, we'll build again. We'll stand through the rain. The trials may come, but I won't bow. This is my fight and I'll make it somehow. Every fall, we learn to stand. Through the darkness, through the pain, we'll build again. We'll stand through the rain. The trials may come, somehow. Make it somehow. Make it somehow.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pax Dei, the search for steel. Tonight, we are going to go over and kind of converse around leadership and persistence and a little bit of critical thinking in Pax Dei and beyond. We'll cover leadership and persistence in Pax Dei and solo and guilds. We'll cover the importance of critical thinking in real life and in game decision making. And then practical actions to enhance everyday problem-solving skills. So we'll start out with our question for the chat and for the comment section. So let's throw that there, and I'll read it out loud. What's the biggest leadership challenge you've faced in an MMO or real life? We talked about interviews yesterday a little bit. We didn't go too far into it, but they're going to ask this question, not in an MMO, but certainly in real life, right? What was your biggest leadership challenge? Well, let's jump right into it. After we do a little bit of housekeeping, because I was thinking about that, let's take a look at the character sheet and figure out where we want to concentrate our efforts tonight. Baking looks like we could do. And what I'm doing is I'm looking for things that I might be able to level up if given enough time. I might be doing a little winemaking and brewing prep. Because I have a what is it called? Farmhouse cider. And it's not bad. Gives me like 46 stamina, so jewelry making only has 1,700 to level. You know what? I'm gonna do that real quick. I will level that up to 22 in a matter of maybe 4 or 5. And then we'll probably do a little bit of winemaking and brewing prep, and cooking is still way out there. Alchemy looks pretty good. I might throw a couple potions together. Let's see what I have and what I need. All right. Let's start with that jewelry. All right, the jewelry table is out where we have a view. This was done intentionally because when you craft beautiful things, you want a beautiful view. And look at that moonlight just streaming down. What a great, I just love it. Just love it. Okay, let's find out what we can do here. All right, we can do an onyx ring. We can do a dandy headband. Huh. What does it do? Divine remedy. Eradicates, that's the eradicate law 8 and cracked lockets. And of course I'm gonna have to figure out if I have that, right? That'd be kind of cool. Ooh. Little lag tonight. That's alright. Eradicate law 3. I do have one of these. Alright. And I need the cracked, I think it was called. There we go. We have 50 cracked. Okay. We should be able to do this. Let's go back and figure out if I can do this. It's the dandy headband. That's not eradicate law. No, it's eradicate law 1.3, and I need 1.7. Darn it. How's... Alright, I need the, 1 dot. I thought it was VII. Boy, I'm telling you. That's 6, I don't have 7. Okay. So, he's back. No loss of, anything, really. Alright. We'll walk, control the graphics. Okay. So I can do that one, or the silver earrings. So I need bronze. So I need bronze and onyx. Let me see if I have any of that. Bronze. And... opal. Onyx is one I throw away a lot. There's an onyx. Well, that's an opal. There's onyx. Alright, let's see. Shouldn't take me too much. Let's try one here. Yeah, I got 5 tries on this one, so see how much. Only 300. Let's just go. Let's go ham on it. I might be able to level depending on if I can get success every time. If I can get a success every time, I level on it. If I can't, I'm gonna be 1 shy. It's gonna suck. Okay. There we go. There it is. Alright. So we did that. Throw that back in there. And it looks like bronze amber ring is the only thing I got out of That's all right. But I did level it up, so another 13,000. So for this one, I'm going to put these rings away, and I'm going to these are pretty nice. They don't do anything for anybody yet. Like I said earlier, they're probably going to do an enchanting thing, but I'm not sure. I'll put them in here for now. Alright. I was doing some winemaking and brewing the other day. So let me see. I think it was rye I was making, so I can make some malt. Nope. There it is. Alright, let's see what it takes for rye. I can't remember. Ah, got some malt there. Oh, malt is barley grain. Rye gives me yeast? Maybe? Yeast is rye flour and water. I can't do that much of it, so I'll only pick up a couple here. There we go. I need to pick up some more rye, I think, because yeast is important. Here we go. Alright, so that's prep work done. I think I got a lot of the other stuff done for baking and cooking and such things like that. I think my blacksmithing is basically, yeah, a million away. So I'll keep going there. Skinning, I need to get that up to level 40, so I'll keep killing animals. My leather, how's my tailoring doing? I need 1 million. I'm at 27. Let's work on the leather working. So what I'll need to do there is go hunting again. Let's talk first. So we're talking about leadership roles, right? In MMORPGs, certainly you can translate what I'm about to tell you to real life. What makes a great leader in Pax Dei? And again, what makes a great leader in real life? Communication, vision, adaptability. That sounds reasonable. Communication, leading by clear and decisive communication. I'll dive into this. Vagaries, while sometimes used, should not be the norm. For example, if I'm creating culture in a team that I want individuals that make decisions based on the vision I have for the team and the communicated tasks and roles and responsibilities of the team, I'm going to be vague in my communication. Why? I want to develop those leaders. I want them to make the decisions. I want them to critically think through those decisions. And if I ask about why they made a decision and they have a good answer, now I know they are starting to learn more of a leadership role. If they have hesitation, what does that tell me? Well, that tells me that they didn't really think through the decision, they just made the decision. Or they really didn't think through the answer of the decision. Why did I split hairs? One of the biggest things especially when you're leading technical people and engineers, and just if you have a lot of respect for your people, which you should as a leader, one of the things about their decision making is they may be ingrained in their roles and responsibilities, so they make the decision naturally, as they always have, if you will. And that's not bad. That's not a bad position. As the leader, you should challenge it a little bit. Not entirely. Just have a conversation with them. I see you made this decision. Great. How did it work out? All right, good. We're in a good position. As the leader of the person who I gave that flexibility to, one of my follow-up questions might be, do you think it can be improved? Do you think it can be modified or better, easier, less work for you, less paperwork? You see where I'm going. I'm developing this back and forth. It may not go anywhere, and that's fine. But you had the conversation. So both, or you and the team have had this conversation, and we were brainstorming in order to develop a better process, procedure, or method. If at any point you identify something to work on, great, you have your next team project. If you don't, perhaps you indicated through your discussions a different division or department might or could better serve the team by doing X or Y or Z. At that point, as a leader of the team, I would go to the leader of the other team and have a conversation. Now, I'm not going to tell them to do anything, but I'll have a conversation. That way, I'm providing the pathway for that team B and my team to have conversations to make our lives easier. So, communication. Big, big, big. Leaders do not say to do a task, and if it needs specificity, leave out the specificity. If they do, the person that does the task will either ask questions trying to obtain the specificity, or they'll go do the task, bring it back. A good leader will be like, that was my bad. I didn't communicate it. This isn't what I was looking for. Or this is what I was looking for. Great. Or can we modify it a little bit? I wasn't exactly looking for this. Have a cordial conversation. In leadership, I believe the primary responsibility of everybody that works with anybody needs to be mutual respect. And it is gained and earned. It is not freely given. However, there has to be a redemption curve or arc. If you want to start doing it today and somebody has disrespected you in the past, or, there's been, troubled waters in the past, there has to be a method for that person to try to come out from the dark, right? You can't just keep pushing them back and pushing them away. We're all human. We all have lives. Vision. Creating a long-term vision or long-term goals for the guild. Well, what are we talking about? Well, for the guild, we're talking about long-term. People want to know, so where are we going with this guild? Are we going to be a raid guild? Are we going to be a marketing guild? Are we going to try to create an adventurers guild? A weaponsmithing guild? Etc., etc. In Pax Dei, you have those options. We could have a guild that is incredibly powerful. Crafting guild. Right? And maybe, at that point, they sell to the merchants guild, maybe. Would that be cool or what? I think it would be cool. But I think you get my meaning. Overall, everything is going to be looked at and communicated, of course. I'm trying to pick out a weapon selection here. I'm sorry. Got the 2 minutes spare. Oh, yeah, I need the shield. Let's take the shield here. I bought some 3 stuff, but it was just to see what's going on. For example, this is a block rating of 66, and I have 52, so I might take that to the old forest if I'm gonna solo something. Let's see. I'm looking for another weapon, perhaps a one-handed weapon. There we go. And let's see if I can repair any of this. No. How about the shield? And no. The bow. Certainly the bow can be repaired. Yes. There we go. Alright, and then I'm going to grab some arrows. There we go. I'm hunting, so yes, that many arrows. And of course, I'm going to get some farmhouse cider. Nope. I didn't realize. Get it real quick. I could have got the blackberry syrup from there. That's should be able to get it from here. Well, now, pro tip: if you want to find something in your inventory when you're eating it fast, just eat it, and it'll show you which ones you are currently under the effects of. All right. Now, where do I want to hunt? Do I want to go to the Stonelands? Usually I hunt up here in this area, and it works out really well for me. But the Pale Lands isn't really a good hunting area. I'll go to the Stonelands. Yeah, go this way. I will be doing some solo adventuring soon. I just, with the discussions that we're currently having, it's hard to map out and gear up for a long excursion into like a dungeon or something. Okay, adaptability. Handling changing in-game conditions and challenges. This is true for leaders in any capacity. You have to be able to handle the changes that are coming at you, if quickly or even in a, what's a good word? I don't want to say static, because that's not slow fashion, maybe. Yeah, slow. If they're coming at you, you need to be able to anticipate them, for one. That would be the best, right? But if you can't, then the challenge is upon the leader in order to react appropriately, given the amount of information provided. And I say that second part because it's very important that the team understand that the leader has to make a decision based off of all available information that they can trust. That's not to say they don't trust you if you give them the information that might be not exactly directly opposite of what their decision is, might be tangential. But point being is they see something in a little bit different light than you'll see it as an IC or another leader, right? Leaders have certain aspects or certain spheres that they see into, right? For good or ill. But it's a leader's responsibility to handle those changes. I have always maintain that if the leader is life or death, then the leader needs to make the decision, and hopefully at that time he has all the, or she has all the available information to make a good decision. However, if you have time to make the decision, there's no real need to hurry anything. So you have the ability to ask everybody on your team, or at least people available for the conversation. Yeah, we're going after bears. Thinking the best skins. Let's see, right about there, you think? Nope, too hot. How about right there? There we go. Let's get him out here. And then we could start stabbing him. I still need to get this spear up a little bit. So in the comment section or the chat, while I'm battling this bear, what are your thoughts on what I've said so far? Communication, vision, adaptability. I think those are a good start, right? Are there many other factors for leaders? Yeah, absolutely. I'm just using these 3 as an example for tonight's podcast. I would say they're definitely in the top 5, right? I think that leaders in Pax Dei or in corporate America, right? Or even if it's a small business, medium business, an SMB, if you will. These are all different leadership styles, right? Or are they? I say the leadership style is dependent upon the situation. I've never agreed with just choosing a leadership style and applying it to every situation. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense to me. And can I fit a situation into a leadership style? Yeah, absolutely. But is it right to do so? I don't know. Here's some examples of those styles. There's a plethora of styles, so don't think these are the only ones. But you have directive leadership, servant leadership, or collaborative leadership. Directive is making quick decisions. Servant is focusing on the well-being and growth of the people around you. And collaboration encourages members to contribute ideas and strategies. And as you can see from just the definitions that I've provided, it seems that the definitions that I've provided, I'm looking for lemongrass, the definitions I've provided would work best in certain situations. Like, certainly on raids or an MMO where your leader is being assigned and you're being tasked by the leader when you're doing combat or when you're in combat or in a raid, in a dungeon, what have you. They're going to want you to do certain things at certain times, right? And you should listen to them immediately. What you don't want to do, pick up some rye. I need barley, really. And I'll pick up rye for yeast. I'm really just out here messing around. All right. So let's see. Directive leadership would be in the raids, and servant leadership would be focusing on the well-being and growth. If you look at the guild members or people that are assigned to you within a company structure. And what does that mean? Focusing on the well-being and growth. It sounds stupid, but you need to take each individual aside in an MMO and really ask them, what are you thinking about? What do you want to do with the character? How do you want to pursue? What kind of character arc do you see yourself moving toward? And to me, it's pretty obvious that the those conversations will help 100%, not only with the person playing the game, because they were like, I have no idea, I've only played the game for like a week. And that's when you, as a leader, that's why you have you'll have that conversation as well to inform them of at least what you know of in the game. Pax Dei is incredibly complex. And I say complex. What I mean by complex is when we look at the game, when we get a myriad of players in clans, and which you will need parties for to get some magical items, right? To end bragging rights. Let's not forget bragging rights are there too. I just remember there's a bear down here, so we're gonna go get him. But you have bragging rights and such things like that, and it's cool. It adds to your character, and you can, you can podcast on your character or have YouTube shorts on your character, or whatever you want to do. Or you can just write about your character and craft your own story, which would be cool too, right? So all this is part of the adventure, the game, the excitement, especially a role-playing game. All right, here we go. We'll pause. I would use directive the least. There we go. Oh, no. That was not good twice. I gotta get into the rhythm. It didn't hurt me too bad. It's just, I hate not being in the rhythm. Bears are so much easier when you have a rhythm. I'm working on the spirit. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. There we go. I was hoping to see more damage, though. 33. We'll get there. Yeah, hopefully I find a bear that has infinite hit points, and I can just wail on the bear. Because I think we'll take a look, and I'll show you how to do a quick calculation of how many swings you need to progress to the next level. I should say hits, not swings. There we go. I honestly don't think I can get bored with this game. And they're just going to add more to it, which is just amazing to me. There we go. I'm really hoping to get some lemongrass. There's gotta be lemongrass around here somewhere. There's oats. I know where there's lemongrass, but well, I only know, I think, one area. I want to find more. Very, very annoying. Lemongrass is the hardest to find, in my opinion. Not only is it hard to find, it is just rare. One of the people I use that I adventure with every once in a while, he goes, "Yeah, it's easy to see." Okay, man, I just can't. And he finds it. It's not like he's like being arrogant about it. He actually finds it. I'm like, man, are you kidding me? Why didn't I see that? All right. Let's go back to leadership. So, collaborative leadership is a big part of any MMORPG, but I would argue that it's a big part of team leadership as well. Being corporate. Why? Because we want to respect the people around us. A lot of the leadership structures in corporations are getting flatter. And what does that mean? That means the leader doesn't necessarily have, you don't see a pyramid leadership anymore. It's more, it's flat, right? Meaning you have the same or you have a better input with the leader, and the leader is one or two removed from, a higher position. So ultimately, you're less removed from that higher up position, or the higher leader, or the company leader, right? Could be the owner in a small business, right? Small businesses are a little bit different, though. You got to be careful here, because as a representative in a small business that would hire me, I need to abide by the owner's edicts more so. Now, that's not to say their leadership shouldn't take a few notes from tonight's episode. However, if you think about having if you think about having leadership, or small business, your own small business, when you want to, it's yours, right? It's your livelihood. If something fails, your house or your family is on the hook. So if I were to work in a small business, privately owned business, I would probably be talking to the owner more often than not to see where they're going, see what they're ready for, what they're willing to spend, all these different aspects, because they're not the large enterprise corporations where, I made a mistake of $100,000, and your boss goes, yeah, that was bad. And that's basic. You don't make the same mistake twice. Whereas in a small business, that might be the straw that breaks the camel's back, right? So a little bit different on the small businesses. Medium businesses, I would say SMBs are typically the same in the need to listen to the organizing or visionary at the top, align the goals of your area to that leader, right? All right. Can't believe I can't find the lemongrass. It's so annoying. Let's see. I think I have some boars down here, so I'm gonna find them on the road. Should be right around there. Yeah, there's one. There we go. Alright. Oh, another banner. Okay, what are we gonna do now? So, what makes a great leader? Well, I'm sorry. So we did examples of leadership styles. What's your favorite leadership style? If you've been in a leadership position, you have to have a leadership style that is probably one that just really feels natural to you, right? Can't believe I got them 3 times. Really? Alright. I was hoping they're guarding the treasure trove of lemongrass, but they don't. Every once in a while you hear him to take a sip. That's from the Zevia, the unsponsor. They haven't sponsored me, so it's not a sponsored spot. But it is refreshing. It doesn't have any sugar, so that's my main how should I say it? Did I just there's the bear. Let's see if he comes down. Alright, so if he's not coming down, I'm gonna find him right around here. After I eat something. Again, thinking about my strategy all the time. especially with things that can kill me quickly. And notice the bear down there. I can't have this guy have our combat go in that direction. There we go. Now we're done. See, now it's 22. For the last combat, it didn't go up even though I went up in level. I'm liking these. Oh, wait, this might be a graveyard. Ah, I was an idiot. There we go. Get him back on the rhythm. I think graveyards are always 22. It's the level 34 that's 20. There we go. Okay. So challenges leaders face. Well, you definitely need to balance the authority with the freedom of the players or the or your I'll call them ICs. Your teammates or your team. IC is individual collaborators in big speak. In Pax Dei, I just don't see using the authority. There's no really way to back up the authority, except for you are no longer allowed in the clan, right? I mean, that's your one trigger to pull, right? If you were at work, you have a couple different triggers to pull. All not a great idea. Every time you become more authoritative, you will diminish your role in the person that is working for you. And basically what I'm saying is people will leave if you're too authoritative. People don't want to go to work and be told what to do. And in Pax Dei or any other MMORPG, yeah, that's not a thing. You don't listen to me, you can't do this. Alright, I'm out. I'll find another clan or, another group that won't be so authoritative. We're here to have fun. We're here to enjoy ourselves and roleplay. We're not there to have another set of rules, especially in a game. Now, if you're role-playing and you agree upon rules, that's a little bit different. But for the most part, yeah, that shouldn't happen. At work, I don't think it should happen either, by the way. Being authoritative is just telling people, don't think on your own. I will do all the thinking for you. And if you go outside these lines, I'm going to do something to hinder your career. Doesn't sound nice, does it? Nah. On the other hand, you don't want to be too rebellious either as an IC. If at the end of the day, you've had that conversation and both you and the leader have communicated their ideas, and the leader will always have a little bit more information than the IC or the person they're talking about to. I wouldn't say always, but say I'm being too definitive. There's going to be information that the leader has that somebody else doesn't, and for that, they might say the reasoning that you are presenting is good, but you don't have all the information, and I can't give you all the information. That's another aspect to this. Some leaders are bound by conversations from upper management, and they really cannot move or tell you about those conversations. Not because they don't trust you, because they would get in trouble if you let it slip, or if something happened, their jobs would be on the line, right? So keep that in mind as we're going through. The leaders have an obligation to their leaders, and an obligation to their team. So they're in a balancing act. So, and this is all leaders, even if you're quote unquote the same or equal in the corporate world as far as your job title, right? If you're equal, then and one person is given the authority or to lead, then that leader is now you have a de facto leader, right? All right, let's go on with well, leaders also face dealing with conflict resolution within the guild, between players in the guild. Sometimes conflicts are good. People kind of, well, they shy away from conflict. I believe, and I haven't seen any information to deter me from the statement. I should look up some studies, but I find that humans are conflict averse, meaning we avoid conflict. Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's a stressor. Nobody likes stress. However, sometimes conflict occurs from misunderstandings. It also could occur from not enough information. Well, misunderstandings. I would say that's probably like 60% of the time. And yeah, that a leader should step in and be like, here we are trying to have fun in a game. Why don't you two talk it out? Or what's going on? What's the actual underlying issue with the conflict, right? Ask questions. Sometimes people are like, I don't remember why I got mad at her. And they'll be like, oh, all right, so problem solved? Right? All right, take a fair pause. Get it. As your weapon skill gets higher, your opponents of lower level will get easier, so you take less hits to kill them, which means you're going to need more of them in order to skill your level, or skill your weapon, up level your weapon. Ugh, and once you make stupid mistakes like that. Oh, I didn't even see my... I really gotta eat. This is crazy. Usually, it would be, if I were fighting a bear about 3 weeks ago, let's say a month and a half ago, I would have been freaking out like this. Oh my god, I only have 100 hit points. There we go. Now I can eat. There we go. Get those hit points back up. Health points. Alright. So, motivating members and retaining... Excuse me. Motivating members and retaining engagement over time. Well, what does that mean? Well, in an MMORPG, you want to retain members in a guild. It's very hard to do because members of a guild can just leave at any time, right? And normally, at least what I've found, is there's a lot of loyalty. Once somebody decides to join a clan and they believe in the mission, or just they're having fun with everybody else, they're going to stick around, right? And leaders that are motivating, or you have a nice relationship with, make it all the easier for members to stay around. There's an old adage. Well, not an old adage, but there's an adage. People don't leave companies, they leave managers. That's true to the point, right? But why is it true to the point? Well, the point that is being made is I can leave a manager, even if the company's good. Do I want to? Nah, I like the company. But the stress that the leader is placing on me is so great that I don't want to deal with the leader. And it's like, oh, okay. You know, you can't argue with that adage, really. HR is not your friend. I'll just say that. So don't say go to HR. We can have another discussion on that. I really want to level up this sword. Doesn't seem to want to, though. And I really want lemongrass, but I just don't see it. It should be in this biome. And I know where one is, so I know it's in the biome. Okay. So retaining engagement over time is a big one for leaders, right? How do you get people engaged and stay motivated and over time? Pax Dei is one of those big games, meaning when you look at how this game is played, no. I hate that. There we go. There we go. Did you see me turn my back like I'm like the king of bears or something? No. It was a total mistake, but it looked really cool. I shouldn't have said anything because you guys would have been like, man, that is badass. But it's not. It was how the keys decided to translate into the avatar's movement. But it looked good. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that. And how many rangers do you see using a pike? Not many. But I'm starting to fall in love with this weapon. There we go. I knew I had one more. Ah! I did not want the Tansy. Tansy is worthless to me. Not worthless, I shouldn't say that. There's uses, but just not any that I'm going to use it for in the near future. Okay. So motivating members, retaining engagement over time, and in companies and corporations, it's the same, right? You want to understand as a leader the motivations of people that you work with or that are on your team. One of the things I did learn is some people just don't want to give up their autonomy or their not necessarily their autonomy, their private life. And as a leader, you got to respect that. You go, all right, cool. Sometimes they'll have to, depending if there's death in the family or something. They might not go into a lot of detail, but they will look at the there we go. They might need to say, look, I need to take this time off because of X, but they won't go into detail. Right? They'll just say, I gotta attend this. And a good leader will be like, yeah, do it. That's what the company has bereavement for. You know, enough said. Will people take advantage of a good leader? Maybe, but it's up to the leader to understand what type of advantage that is, right? Meaning, let's say you have somebody who, God forbid, uses the false claim that every other month there's a family member that dies, right? Are there those people? Yeah. But it's up to the leader to kind of move them on or get them motivated enough to stop doing that, right? And if they have that conversation, just have it level-headed, meaning don't get angry at a person that does that. They have the motivation to do it. Is it because they wanted to get one over on you? Okay, they got one over on you. Don't let it bother you. Not really getting one over on you, though. I think my ultimate point here is leaders need to understand that and have a trust relationship, right? Man, that's gonna knock it down. I thought the thing would go down by then. Okay. What else is going on? Yeah, so I can't say enough about retaining engagement over time, because if it's a high stress environment, right? You want a team that can handle the high stress environment, or be aware of that high stress environment. So you, as a leader, you want to craft a culture within the team that will mitigate or diminish the high stress. Find out how you can best preserve people and their sanity. To be one, I don't think that any job is worth your mental health, and I truly mean, I think that. I mean, that's there's been, and I'm not saying don't do your job because A, B, or C. I'm saying leaders should be able to identify and understand certain levels of stress. And for those leaders out there, a pizza party does not correct stress levels. Probably adds to more stress levels, because now you're taking time away from what they should be doing. And they're like, well, I'm gonna have to work later tonight to get the thing done. So they're not gonna be as motivated to do it, right? So understanding that aspect of the team will help motivate and retain engagement. So when we talk about persistence, what are we talking about? In Pax Dei, we're talking about grinding for resources, guild building, right? And we're looking at long-term strategies. We're also looking at overcoming setbacks, such as failed raids or lost resources. So if you get a PvP and you're... I really want to fight him here. There we go. There we go. It's only a black bear, so I should be able to take it fairly quickly. This is part of grinding, right? How do I stay motivated? I try to gain knowledge of patterns in combat. I try to level up as many things as I possibly can. From this, I can level up my spear while I'm getting leather and bear meat for stew, right? So all this is not wasted time. I'm doing 3 or 4 things, right? So this is good. It's responsible grinding, if you will. Oh, and I forgot to do that again, right? Alright, so let's get this. Alright, so let's look at the pole arms. Pole arms are combat skills. I have another 335 hits before I level this. That's how that works. It's 100 per hit. Are blackberries there? Blackberry? I'll take the blackberries. There we go. Alright. So let's see what else is going on with this. Yeah, stay motivated. If this game is one of those like EVE Online, right? It takes a long time to level up, and as you're doing it, you're gonna have setbacks. And in early access, you'll have more setbacks because the coders might have to wipe everything you had in order to code something that the future game requires. That is not a bad thing. We're in early access. And the reason I say it's not a bad thing is, put simply, is I signed up for it. I don't mind it if it yields a good game, right? A good game dynamic. I am fine with it. So there's always going to be setbacks, whether it's external by the gods, developers, or it's by by myself and my actions, right? I could lose my gear, and that's a setback, right? So we have to, as leaders, we have to be able to look people in the eye, so to speak, in Pax Day and say, look, life happens. This happens in the game as well. Sometimes the game glitches out. Sometimes life glitches out too. So leaders have to really be able to look at aspects of a person's life in game, right? Or in real life, right? If there's a setback and somebody's really distracted, a leader might not necessarily need to be a friend, but they can certainly talk to the person about that setback and have a different perspective, a more optimistic perspective for that person. So keep that in mind as we're talking about these things. Like I said, I wrote an article on LinkedIn. It hasn't gotten any views. This is the first article that really hasn't picked up many views, and that's okay. I didn't expect it to, but it's about using MMOs and in leadership or team building exercises. I get it. It was a pretty good article. I thought I detailed it, but the overall gist of it was that everything I'm telling you tonight is applicable to both real leadership and in Pax Day, because I mean, let's just put it out there. When you're a leader in Pax Day, you're showing leadership skills. That's actual leadership skills. That's not just game leadership skills. Do you act a certain way? Maybe. Maybe. Can you act that way in real life? Yes. The answer is yes. And don't think you can't, because you can. Leadership grows on you, it matures on you. You don't. So there are some, quote, natural born leaders. Oh, really? But honestly, not really. Really? Are you serious? I'll just go to it. Ah, I'm wasting way too many arrows on one freaking stupid deer. Anyway, I'll let it come back a little bit. Alright. Be supportive in the community. Like I said, optimism, right? That's one of the biggest things you can show your players and your team. To stay motivated, you have to have the ability as a leader to find the bright spots. Now, this isn't to say, oh, every time you should find bright spots. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you should have the ability to find bright spots and celebrate the small wins. So celebrate the big wins, but celebrate the small wins, because they're just as important, and it will keep your team motivated. And like I said, pizza parties are not a motivation technique. Sorry. So, as we move through, really, they moved. I am such a bad shot tonight. I can hit the smallest thing on the screen, but a freaking deer, that's too much for me. I'll wait until he comes down a little bit and I'll feel like... Really? There we go. I'm just doing this for the skins and skinning. Oh my gosh. I knew that wasn't gonna hit, but I had to take the shot anyway, right? Celebrating the small wins. There we go. That way I can sneak up here, grab that hide, and then run down here. That looked like an animal hide. I want animal hides. Animal hides are good. That was definitely from behind me. That's alright. We'll go this way. I don't know how I hit that thing. Okay. Let's see. So, we've talked about and skirted around critical thinking. It's so important in leadership and in individual being a team member. Also in Pax Dei. So what is it? I've spoken in depth on this before, but it is well worth going over again. He didn't leave. I'm like, okay. Oh, that's why he didn't leave. That's alright, we'll take out the doggy. And then we'll get into critical thinking. You always back up on the dog. You try to get him to miss, right? That's the key to combat, missing. Always use your shield bash if you can. It is really good. Especially if you want to land a few hits. Alright. So the ability, the critical thinking, useful everywhere in your life, is the ability to analyze, evaluate, and make reasoned decisions. Another podcast went over reason. So important. So the ability to analyze, evaluate, and make reasoned decisions. What are the key components? Observation, interpretation, analysis, inference, explanation, and self-regulation. I'll go over those one at I'll go over the list again. As you see, as we're going through this, how these fit into critical thinking. So the observation, the interpretation, the analysis, the inference, the explanation, and the self-regulation. Well, if you're looking at the ability to analyze, evaluate, and make reasoned decisions, obviously these are the components of that. First, you have to observe it. Then you have to interpret it. And once you interpret it, you should analyze it. Then you need to dive into it and see if there's any inference or bias. Then the explanation. Find a good explanation for it. Right? And then self-regulation. Do I believe it? How much do I believe? There we go. So these are all components to critical thinking. if I pick up an article, a research paper, heck, if I hear a rumor, critical thinking is going to help me determine whether or not it's true or applicable to me. Right? So we're trying to find reason in what we're examining. Oh, it came up with me again. Missed that third one, didn't I? That's alright. There we go. Alright. I'm really getting far away. Where am I? I'm down here. Near Shire. It's not really anything down here for me. I'll see if there's another dire wolf, and then we'll head back up. Because I really don't want to go in the Shire. Ah, there's another dire wolf. Oh, wow. They're everywhere over here. We'll kill a couple. I really don't want him to hit my shield like that. So I'm going to back away. There we go. Oh, did you see him jump? Come on. There we go. He wasn't guarding. I'll take the hit because I need to eat, because I forgot to eat. Which is stupid. And then, wow, we'll speed this up a little bit. There we go. Take a potion of healing. A lot of direwolves in this forest. Let's bring him over here. It wasn't the best place to hit, actually. Seemed like. There we go. There we go. This is better. There we go. That was a better combo. I try to improve with every little bit, right? That's what you should be doing in real life, and of course, I tried to do the quick draw and missed completely. There's a gray bear over there, huh? Really? I could do him over here. Let's do him over here. We just gotta get the circle going. He usually does 2 claws. But it all depends. And then when we go in for it, there we go. 2 on the side, 1 when he claws. Don't get overzealous. A claw is a faster attack. The headbutt is more powerful, although you can hit him twice. At least with the spear. Which I'm definitely liking. And I have like 300 hits I need to do, so hopefully this will kind of make it go down a little bit. I only brought one of these, so I'll probably have to do this. There we go. There's wool fiber. I know I can pick wool fiber up. There we go. This was good. Couple dire wolves. Wow, two right next to each other. Can I take two? If I hit one, let's see if one, I can drag one. There we go. I let him chase me not enough. Oh, this is a infinite direwolf. So we will sit here and take him for a little bit. Oh, really? He's also a badass direwolf. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just leveling up the sword. See, his health is not going down. But I'm getting hits, and that's the important part. I'm just hating that he's an infinite, because I'm gonna have to run to get away from him. Luckily, my shield's not doing too bad, so this is all I'll be doing for the next 5 minutes. I'll get to the conversation here. Oh, come on. That was stupid timing on my part. There we go. Always carry potions of healing. Maybe I'm just backing up a little too far. Oh, really? I'll drag him a little bit out to here. There we go. There we go. Now I have a little bit more maneuverability. Oh, really? This guy loves to come up on me. Maybe I'm just backing up just a little too much. That's probably what it is. I doubt I'll level my sword up, so for the sake of the podcast, I'm gonna stop. Because, like I said, as long as my sword is good, my shield is good, and I have healing potions, these kind of opportunities to level your weapon are great. So keep these in mind. Don't think of them as a glitch. Think of them as an opportunity to level your current weapon. If you do this good enough and you don't take damage, you're good. Your weapons are taking damage, but that's okay because honestly, you're gonna level them up. So use them for target practice. If you can get past the noise, by the way. The noises these dogs make is pretty good. So if you need to turn down the dog noises, I understand. You're human. It amazes me what humans can get used to. So once I do a circle around them, I'll start running because I can run pretty good. I'll just hit my magic running shoes and get by him. There I go. That should be enough to get away from him. And I hit a border, so I got infinite spread. Oh, there's a literal structure. I must be in the Shire. I am in the Shire. Take down the deer while I'm here. The Shire everybody moved to for the namesake. I'm assuming. Wow, there's some really big structures here. Let's take a moment to ponder that. Look at that thing. Let's head back. All right. So, when we look at the philosophical perspectives on critical thinking, we want to look to Socrates in the Socratic method in particular, asking questions to arrive at deeper truths. Descartes said, "I think, therefore I am," questioning assumptions and seeking clarity. John Dewey, practical problem solving and reflective thinking in everyday life, right? So he's, again, these philosophical people, the great thinkers are bringing to the forefront the need to question, the need to not assume, but to dig deeper, not only for meaning, but for the meaning to you. Immanuel Kant, rationality and the importance of critical reflection in ethical decision making. It's huge. It's huge. That is, it's big. Ethical decision making is one of the keys that everyone should be striving for. We'll get more into ethical decision making or decision making in general. I think that would be worthy of an entire podcast. So in a later podcast, we'll certainly go into those and see what the great thinkers have thought about those. Well, what are the practical applications for critical thinking? Right? It's a logical question after being presented the information. Well, in Pax Dei, evaluating guild strengths or strategies and planning raids, they would all be critical thinking. What are we best at? What's our player base? Our what are our people thinking? What do they want to do? So all these are going to be part of the decision-making process for leaders and for anybody in the guild. Where's the guild going? Do I want to go that way? I have friends, but is that enough to stick around? Right? I am getting a lag, but I can overcome it. I want to bring that dude here. I don't want to chase it. There we go. Okay. All right. So, analyzing in-game economy and market trends for smart investments. What, you definitely want to analyze these things, especially if you're a merchant group, right? What are the best resources I can go? What are people buying? What's top of the market right now? And in Pax Dei, you're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. You might have to go around making alliances with other marketing, people who have markets. Ask them what their top seller is. See if you can buy materials off of them to make bigger profits in your own market. So it lends to critical thinking lends to a lot more role play, right? About making decisions under pressure and adapting to unexpected events. Well, that's going to be a little bit. What's a good word for it? That's going to be a little bit more short term with less information, right? Really? And of course, he moved right when I was aiming at him. Steady is the bow. Don't get freaked out by being attacked. All right, we are moving on. All right, so yeah, critical thinking under pressure, although useful, and you need to, it's more, I think, it's a better application of critical thinking to do the thinking before you get into the trouble. Perhaps you are looking at making the I was taking a shot in the dark. But basically what I'm saying is critical thinking is more a tool for the non-immediate. I pulled my shot. I knew where it was coming from, but I pulled it anyway. Where is he coming from? There he is. And now. Really? There we go. I am just working on skinning and hopefully getting a few more animal hides. And that's fine by me. And I think there's a couple more over here. Yeah, there's one. There's a lag in there. There's a little lag in there. That sucked. I don't know if you can see it. Definitely a little lag. There is another server, but the devs are like, if you go to the other server, you have to unlock all your plots, and you can only take what you can carry. And I'm like, you maintain your skills, which is nice. However, I got a lot of stuff. I'm working on a lot of stuff. It's a mirror image of this Home Valley, so it's still Mary. It's just on another server, which means all the locations are pretty much the same, where you would get materials and such. But that would require a lot more grinding than I'm doing now. A lot of grinding. Just to get the materials to do what I want to do. So to me, the answer was critical thinking, right? I'm applying reason and analysis to the offer. Could it have been a really cool offer? Sure. Or a cool thing? Yeah. Just something I didn't want to pursue at this time, though. Although some of my friends are going over there, and they're going to do great. They did invite me, but I was like, nah, I'm okay. I got a lot of stuff. Let's see, what else are we doing here? So, in real life, right? What are some things you can do with critical thinking? Well, you can analyze news and information critically to avoid untruths, lies, misinformation. What else can you do? You can improve decision-making at work and in personal relationships. Absolutely. If you think about what's going on, who's saying it, and how it's being said, I would say, yeah, right? Absolutely. You might even be able to stop an argument before it starts in your personal life because you chose to question instead of um, just accept what is being offered. Let's see. Handling problem-solving scenarios with a structured approach. Yeah, sure. So what is that structured approach? Well, first you start with asking questions. So ask better questions. Instead of just asking questions, think about the questions that you are going to ask. Did I totally miss that? Yep. There we go. I don't know. Once you track them, I'm glad they did the bloodstains. I know it's poor taste, but at the same time, it's almost impossible to find a downed rabbit. So I'm glad they did that. Let's see what else is going on. So you ask better questions. Well, what are the questions? Start with why, what if, and how, depending on to deepen the understanding. Challenge the assumptions and the biases. Why do you know that? What if this happens? Right? Gather and analyze information, fact-checking and researching multiple perspectives. This one's hard for everybody because we all have an inherent bias. So checking on information written by somebody or a viewpoint that we're not exactly in line with can be challenging. Weighing evidence before making the decision. So now that you've taken the time with all this evidence, now you take the time and now you can make a decision, right? So we're heading into the home stretch here. So what do you do with that? Well, you consider the consequences and alternatives. So you think ahead and you plan for potential outcomes. You balance the risks and the rewards, logic. Right? And I know it sounds really over the top for small information. However, it's great practice with small information. So keep that in mind as you're going through this critical thinking process. Sometimes the small things will help you or will enlighten you with the larger decisions that might come down the pike, right? I'm putting all the food in here because I don't want to have to keep going back. I am being lazy. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And I'm very tired tonight. I drove for about 6 hours. I'm hoping everybody it gets a little bit out of this to better understand themselves, the world around them, and leaders should use this all the time. There shouldn't be one leader that scoffs at the idea of critical thinking. So practice reflection is the last step. So what does this do? Well, sometimes at night you might be bored or you might be thinking about a decision made in the past. Reviewing that past decision to improve future ones is part of critical thinking. And you might want to apply critical thinking to that past decision and see what you can glean from it, what answers you can have. Developing a habit of evaluating your thought process is huge. Why? Because it tends to challenge yourself. Sometimes it deepens your beliefs. Sometimes it will it will it will have you challenge your beliefs, and that's okay. Doesn't mean you have to move from one belief to another. That's not what I'm saying. You don't want to challenge your core beliefs. For example, you do. Excuse me. For example, if you wanted to critically think through your religion, absolutely, go find the information. Go find the other things. It may end up strengthening your position, and that's okay too. More than likely, you don't. If you have a moral divide after the critical thinking, maybe you talk to some experts, some leaders in that field or that religion, and say, "Hey, this is what I'm thinking. Did I get anything wrong? What am I looking at?" Part of this is getting that critical thought to evolve a little bit more, right? You're evolving your critical thinking pattern by asking other people for more information, right? So keep that in mind as you're going through life and leadership and Pax Dei. Critically think of different aspects of the world that you live in, that you are playing in, that you read. I've learned, and I really want this to be part of the curriculum for every parent to teach their kid, and also for every school system to teach kids. If we continue on with our education system the way it is, we are going to be in trouble. Critical thinking is so important for everybody, and it will provide a path to enlightenment and reason given these steps. So I do want to say those steps one more time. Ask better questions. Gather and analyze the information. Consider consequences and alternatives. And practice reflection. All key components of critical thinking. So what are the key takeaways tonight? Leadership and persistence are keys to success in games and life. Critical thinking is an essential skill that can improve decision making. Practical steps can help develop better leadership and critical thinking habits. So that's the podcast for tonight. I know we're a little early, but man, I am totally exhausted. Let's see. So I encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share the show with your friends if you find it particularly useful. Write in the comments if you want to see a show that I haven't covered yet. I'll be happy to consider the subject matter. I like to research. I'm not 100% confident. I'm not like infallible. That's what I'm looking for. Not infallible. So if you find an error, be respectful, bring it up, and I'll critically think through your answer, right? As we all should. And I'll add it to the agenda as well, right? For the next show. It'll be fun. This channel is here for learning. So we want to delve into the unknown. We want to delve into the known. We want to question everything because we want to learn about everything. So let me leave you with a final thought. Persistence and critical thinking are two sides of the same coin. Master both, and you'll succeed in any challenge. Whether in an MMORPG or in life. With that, we'll say goodnight. We will have a show tomorrow. I'll find out what I'm going to talk about tomorrow day. Until then, Be safe, everyone.
With every step, a lesson learned. From fire's heat to the fields I've turned. The blade and bow, the forge and flame. I sharpen my skills, I play the game. Each day brings a challenge I must face. I train my hands with careful grace. From alchemy's art to the hunter's way, I'll find the strength to seize the day. I carve my path, I walk the line, in the shadow of the ancient sign. Through trial and toil I'll find my way, learning more with each passing day. The skill of survival, the will to thrive, in a world where the strong survive. I'll face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to fight, to learn to dance. For every strike and every fall, I'm building my strength, I'm standing tall. In the heart of the wild and the calm of the night, I gather my skills, I'm ready to fight. From the herbs I find to the iron I mold, each lesson learned is a story told. The stars above, they guide my hand. As I hold my craft, I take my stand. In the quiet woods, in the mountains chill, I push myself, I shape my will. With each new tool and every lore, I'm stronger now than I was before. I carve my path, I walk the line, in the shadow of the ancient sign. Through trial and toil I'll find my way, learning more with each passing day. The skill of survival, the will to thrive, in a world where the strong survive. I'll face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to fight, to learn to dance. For every strike and every fall, I'm building my strength, I'm standing tall. In the heart of the wild and the calm of the night, I gather my skills, I'm ready to fight. The road is long, but I won't turn back. The lessons I learned keep me on track. With each new skill, the stronger I grow. In the face of the storm, I let my courage show. I've tasted defeat, I felt the sting, but I rise again with each new spring. For knowledge is power, and wisdom the key. I'm forging my path, I'm breaking free. The skill of survival, the will to thrive, in a world where the strong survive. I'll face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to fight, to learn to dance. For every strike and every fall, I'm building my strength, I'm standing tall. In the heart of the wild and the calm of the night, I gather my skills, I'm ready to fight.